lot. So it's going to be incredibly hard for him to get any relocate saves here. But it's definitely going to be lane to watch will be mid, and then probably top, because the snapfire damage can just catch people off guard.
That ricochet, especially when you've got the cow stacking up on top. Who did? Yeah, the cow did 1300 damage.
Good.
The cow did 1300 damage. God.
The last pick Zeus has really paid off here. The vision game
draft, because we've got so many good teams. We've got obviously the Pigs team with Tobbs and Mashed and Andros, Jakino. Super scary team with some super scary stand-ins. There's that
Necrophos can be a mid, Necrophos can be a 1. I know Gachi's played it in the past, so it's incredibly flexible on the AU Rejects draft, and I honestly couldn't tell you how it's going to shake out. What I reckon they will... I'm glad they're finally moving the IO up top, because a lot of the kills RFA's gotten have just been on the edge of he's playing max limits. If you add one more hero into the mix, it doesn't work. Oh my god.
Blink Dagger's 40 gold away on the Mars. That's a 13-minute Blink Dagger. In a Necro lane too, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's made up for his, like, in the numbers, but the amount of saves that the Undying was able to do, and the amount of, like, even if it's just like a tombstone save or just the Greaves keeping someone alive, that prevents like 10 to 15.
Oh, Wind decides to just let that IO burn. Okay.
It's a throwaway. It's a throwaway IO.
Yep.
If he ever gets caught, you don't really care too much. If they have like 1 or 2 signature spells that are just, I guess, a level above the rest in the patch, like Tiny Toss with Toss Facet and all these other like little things, and that's where Rubik.
Oh, there is a Zeus ult, and down goes the Morph. The Morph must have been top
down
and
goes Reverie.
Got called by the axe, I imagine. I didn't see it, but I imagine we'll see those.
I would have to imagine so, right?
Dota, dude. What an absolutely phenomenal game of Dota. And what a phenomenal co-caster you've been for me as well, White Glint. Huge, big Dota brain in that head of yours, hey?
Thank you for having possible for mid. Another like brilliant way this all works together is having the Tiny as a flex pick makes second pick look really, really good, because this is either the POS 4 or the POS 2 here. You could always run 10 regen, 10 HP regen, and 5 mana. I mean, like, he's just not respecting the toss damage. He's expecting the
IO. Spirit Breaker decides he wants to take this kill on his own. Down goes Wingxing.
Unfortunate. It seems that Wingxing might just be sacrificial lamb here. They want to get the Necro with the smoke, but Wingxing just dewards. Yeah, I think he protected Gachi there. They would have just run straight across. One of the oldest players.
Did you after last night, because I did shout it out on stream, have you signed my petition to have Hoodwink removed from the game? And everyone out there in Twitch chat, I do have the petition up, so please go and get that hero. 17 minutes, White Glint. 13k at 18 minutes. Holy! Let's go, Reject. Show them how it's done.
I don't really have...
Just unbelievable, and I wonder if IO decides to go for, is it Blitzkrieg or Kritzkrieg, the heal one, the extra magic resistance? Could be pretty good, but then there's not a whole lot of magic team on.
Yeah, it's just...
Troll has his 6, and Gubala is a little bit far forward. The power shot misses, but the Troll is still on top of Gubala. They bring all the boys once again. The stun comes out, Shackle to try and keep that Troll off of him, but it doesn't really there, and that Spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here, because the Bear is on top of it, and down goes the Spirit. As
they don't have the damage anymore.
Mooncow charging in, and now comes the Zeus ult, and the Crab is dead! Yule's out from Prey, he's got him there, and Reverie's going to jump in himself. They deal with the Spirit Breaker, but now there is a big space Cal. Keep diving? No.
It nullifies a lot of the damage of the Ursa, but the Zeus still put him down to like half there.
Magnetize, a stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling. He has a built-in.
Is that on the auto attack? Or
it is on the auto attack. Yeah, it is on the auto attack. Every time he attacks is 8-second cooldown, and it stacks and it stacks and it stacks. It's 2% each time he hits, and it can stack up. Man's just trying to sink some beers and have a good night, and you're coming in here and just harshing his vibe in the biggest way possible. Report Gabala ruining my vibes, dude.
Tier list time. I think a lot of people have
got their own. They've got their own tier list, exactly. But what I want to say is, put me in the booth. Raccoon decides to just get on top of this Sand King as quick as he can. Out comes the Tombstone, and all of a sudden Huncho might be in a little bit of trouble. Winching is running straight at him, but does he have the damage to deal with him? Down comes the Zeus ult, and
I reckon they'll might take out the last. They might take out Void Spirit. Oh no, Faceless Void.
Faceless
I was
Void.
completely wrong with that. I was
I mean,
thinking maybe they
they're
want to reduce the
they're
tempo.
looking coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20
Hmm.
coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So
We have a
when there's
charge. That guy's not squishy by any means.
none of
Yes,
these,
I'm just
none of
confuse them
these,
off.
none of the Universal heroes are squishy. God, and it's the
Yeah.
worst, dude.
Charge on
Oh,
top. This could be a
hold
breakout fight on
on.
top. Getting bans. We got Johnny Sins, the +3 for Slaughter Gang. Second best Axe player in the entire server. Got to give him credit.
Nice, I
Frankie,
love Axe.
honestly, Frankie just plays whatever. They really put a. Another thing is the Morphling went Lincolns to protect himself from the cow charging him globally, but it doesn't protect you from the Axe, who's about to try again.
Oh,
He's
he's
lighting
low
him up.
game on this Spirit Breaker. Did you say that Raccoon plays a lot of Spirit Breaker, or is this
Yeah.
like a
How the
okay?
hell did he get up there? Look at where
He
he's standing and look at
yeah
the
yeah
ward he
yeah.
plays.
He
That is
slipped past
phenomenal.
Prey. Any Tinder baddies? Let's go.
Ah,
Bit of all chat, and the game resumes.
we're just hastily approaching the COS, you know? We
Oh,
could be going no faster.
I love that little
Cross and killed him if the Ire wasn't in the way, but they really didn't want to break on the Ire, of course.
600 gold off the Radiance. So you know,
Yeah.
on the Necro. So might be looking at that 15-minute timing, maybe even earlier. If they play safely, it's going to be hard to kill that Necro. Mars has so much HP, so positionally, as long as they play well, can't see a lot going on
Yeah,
down here. But
I
this
wouldn't
mid
expect
lane,
much to happen.
right game so far.
Okay, so
Wait, hold up! Did
both
they just catch the? They just caught the Necro.
Necro's dead.
What?
He bought travels. I hate it when ball players do this. He gets
Elite Slayer 60 60 60, you know? Like, I want really, really creative names. Oh, okay,
Shadow
let me
Demon.
talk. This is the strongest support in all of Dota.
copying it and then sending it back right back at them.
They're feeling themselves and they're getting a bit cheeky. I just saw Raccoon use his charge to try and make it to the Wisdom Rune before the
It's guaranteed.
Hancho.
Gabala's just farming their
Up
jungle.
top,
He just does not
gets
care.
the stun off onto Gabala, but then the call
Doesn't
comes out in
matter.
return. Hancho
Juby's
needs to be
queuing up a
careful though,
Dagon.
because he's being
My God.
charged, and that
A little bit. Tiny instant from Slaughter Gang.
Yep.
Okay. So I expected the breaker to get banned, but I guess taking it instead of leaving it on the table is kind of like the same thing.
God, they have so much HP. Is Spirit Breaker still the highest HP level 1 hero in the game? I think he is. It shocks me how much HP this guy has early on. It's just nuts. It's just bonkers. You're expecting to see that same competition, that same fire tonight as well, huh?
I think so, yeah. These two teams on paper should be relatively close, or from having 275 health. If he was on full, he'd have like 11 damage from health, and that's why you're seeing a lot of like the wands and a lot of heavy branch start, just like the Vengeful Spirit.
It's on his Rubik, one of the boys of Dog. So it's interesting to see that they do put a lot of value on these comfort heroes, because we're seeing that reflect in the pro scene, right? You've got players, really dominant players like Amar. Axe call, and down goes the Sand King and the Shadow Demon almost immediately. This Venji needs to be careful. There's the Refresher Orb coming out to get the Tombstone down to give the vision for Team Radiant. They are thinking about it. Here comes Io! Oh, Io brings Gachi with him! I'm not sure that's the play, Io, and the GG is called.
He just GG's.
Yeah.
Winching, what are you doing? Oh no.
Oh, those are super stacked.
Yeah, so the lanes have gotten much better for AU rejects this game than last match, which means the Dire's not going to have any momentum going into mid-game at this rate until this part. It is literally an 8-pick in Ridya Masters, and it could even be an 8-pick in Oz as well. But they're just not favoring picking it too early and having two battles that you can work like to actually still have a game no matter what. And this is also a really well-balanced hero to set up for the last pick, where I'm sure Hunter...
Lane's pushed in. It's got this stupid bull rush talent. Oh, where it can just run away anytime it actually hits a wave. Plays so far forward. I mean, we saw Boxy doing it before, like, plays. Now I'm looking at the map, and I'm seeing a lot of good vision from Radiant. They've managed to sort of...
Sorry, can you finish off and I'll chime in?
No, you go. Go ahead.
It's a consequence of the Spirit Breaker, right? This guy who's...
What do you want? Troll loves a strong early start.
One of the better laning carries of the patch as well. There's not really much stronger than a Troll because he gets the Berserker's Rage for free, so he can get a blinked toss back and then kill the guy outright. Otherwise, he's just not gonna die. Johnny loses his courier. That was his full butterfly. He will not be getting 3 minutes. That's like
I'd like to admit. So keen to see if they can pull out some cheeky little ricochets, get some cheeky little kills. Meanwhile, on the other side, Spirit Breaker decides to go for the, of course, the Bull Rush. Absolutely nonsense.
Oh my God.
Koala is now on the high ground. The Blade Mail comes out, and that Fourthling needs to be careful. He doesn't kill himself, but he does blow up the Axe. Axe is dead. That creates a bit of space in these fights for Dire now. Looks like Reverie is just elected to use his ult on the Spirit Breaker to
guarantee you is watching just about every game of Riyadh in some way, shape, or form, and we're all definitely taking like our lessons from that. What we can use, what we can't use, what we cheese strats we can learn, stuff like that. You know, he wants to play into Shadow Fiends because you can't play.
Can we just talk about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an Axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling.
Unfortunately, Winching just gets caught out. It's just. They're not respecting the global presence of the Io, and I feel like they're not respecting the global presence of the Spirit Breaker nearly enough while they were in the arena for most of the spear duration.
Oh, I was wondering, for me I thought maybe Yules or something, but yeah, of course, Invoker
yeah.
Whirlwind. Yeah.
Ancho panicked a little bit and got hunted for it. These are big kills, they're feeding like massive streaks. They really need to get serious on the Australian rejects and finish this match.
Oh, Gachi.
Oh, he's on
jumping on top of Morphling. Morphling's just going to waveform away. Morphling's just going to try and pour it out here. No, cancels his port, but that might be a mistake, Reverie, because there are 4 Radiant heroes here and they are looking for you. He does have 4,200 HP and is outside his tier 3 though, so he might just live here. Wow-wee. Beautiful rotation from Prey, by the way, there as well. And he might just secure this rune right in front of the Tiny's face. Oh,
yeah,
it hurts
so this is what I meant about when I said the Spirit Breaker will not. They cast the Disruption instantly on the Spirit Breaker, which didn't last at all, and then he gets baited into thinking he can go on the Shadow Demon, but then
missed Axe call, drops the Dagon, and then drops the
help him. He's just dying to magical damage from the cow. Just another fighter. I feel like this cow could be second highest damage.
The initiation here from AU Rejects is pretty scary. You've got Axe Call, one of the biggest ball plays I've seen, but it might just save. No, it does not save the snap, but then the Avalanche comes out on top of that Invoker, and Invoker is absolutely annihilated. Power shot out to stop the blinks. They've got a few seconds. Avalanche.
Puncho is edging towards his first item in a long time here.
You know, when they first changed this Dagon, I would...
Rakon drops the easy.
What I was going to say about this Shadow Demon is it's such a... It reminds me of just the Russian teams. They love this hero. They've always loved this hero. It just applies. And the whip comes out. Looks like they're still looking for Win Xing. Shadow Demon's died somewhere in the background that I didn't quite catch, but it looks like Axe jumps in to get a good call, but he's delayed by the Avalanche Toss, and now... Ooh, is he in trouble?
Like, fine, because he has an Axe. 2-7 Tiny.
But more than,
the only one having like
more
a
than that,
game.
it's this XP differential. You've got 18 coming out on Gachi, 18...
Right, it breaks the way you want to play Dota. It just doesn't work anymore.
Here he goes.
Smoke Tiny is getting a lot of like push bottom, but the cow just like
you need to be careful because your teleport just got interrupted, and you did. Your eyes are probably fixed on Riyadh. Are you taking any lessons from what's been happening in the group stages of that so far?
I have a feeling, yeah, at least one player on all these teams. I can almost
see these guys maybe in the finals, and you are unlucky enough to not make it to the finals, which I think is very unlikely. Yeah. I've seen your gyro. Your gyro is going to rip all the way to the finals. But if you're not, and these guys make it, maybe I'll hit you up again to. Yeah, on the snap as well. So, oh, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's gonna just start punching him as fast and hard as he can, and I think
is another core. So they have 4 cores on Radiant they have to go through, and no way to go through any of them.
Mukau charging once again. What have they spotted? Favoring here. It looks like some really interesting matchups and some straight.
There's a lot of comfort going around here. I honestly say I slightly favor the Dire here because when
okay, so we are seeing it better again. We're seeing Invoker really take a bit of a lead here in the mid lane. I think I expected that, right?
100%, yeah. So these have Radiance.
Hold on, I just bought a Radiance. Maybe for the mischance, but I don't think it's going to matter when that bear is just on top of you bullying you. Johnny doing his best to keep his Sand King alive. Buyback from Spirit Breaker. They want to end this game. The double D. Oh, Gachi's hungry. Jumping in cover. Johnny Spirit. Johnny, you need to get out of there. And Huncho's bought. There can be a huge amount of burst coming out from either of these heroes at any moment. So keen to watch this in action.
Another reason you won't see a lot of action in the bottom lane is the crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1. He's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi, like, honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die?
Chasing, and the Morphling gets the kill, and that is a... Holy shit, that is a lot of gold that goes away the Morphling, and you don't want to be feeding the Morphling.
That's another 1800. That's...
Two-way street.
Like, he just charges through the wave. The wave's dead.
So do you want to talk a little bit... Oh, looks like they're going for Roche, but I don't think Radiance.
I like this, actually, yeah. Radiant have no clue. Just because Winching...
So, thank you so much, you legends. I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you, White Glint, for letting Bops yell in your ears. And everyone, you have a phenomenal, phenomenal evening. Good night, guys! I played into Rev quite a bit, and I've played both his Naga and his Troll, and they are spooky, spooky, spooky heroes when they are in his hands. So I get it.
It's a bit of a wash. I don't think he needed the IO to do this, to be honest. I think this lane was always going to go this way once you saw the Spirit Breaker pick. But a lot here. The Morphling is free farm, but I will say the Ursa. Bottom
Tiny
lane
goes down to bottom lane. They drop the Tombstone and they secure the Tiny. There's a call out on Muncie's Magnus. I don't think I've seen him get it once. Oh, he got it in one game, but they know what he can do on that hero, and they say no. And we saw a little bit of that last night. Nabi's been copping some bans. Tiny, and the Tiny now has the Rubik rotating in on top of him. The Cold Snap comes out, and so does that huge blast from the Rubik. They're going to try and run him down. Lift goes up, throws him back into the Tornado. He comes out with not very much HP, and I think that's just a dead Tiny on my screen. Mad wipe going the way of AU Rejects. Holy, AU Rejects have come to play this game. They are ripping up with a 13k lead at 7. Maybe I'm wrong. But what I was going to say is that you see a lot of this in Australia, the respect that comes out, the, hey, this hero, we know what you can do in it, and we're not giving it to you. Even in the intermediate division, I've been casting a bit of that. A perfect example. Hold on. Is there a play? The supports are up in 3 or 4 seconds. But Gachi is huge. Has a Lincolns, has his BKB, and has his Basher. Do they have anything to deal? Ball's getting up from the Aegis, but that is another stack for Gachi. And Gachi's doing his best to slip off into the trees. Can they find him? Yep, of course they can. There's the charge. There's the reverse. Big old, massive Reaper Scythe on top of him. And that is more stacks for the stack. Does Johnny just have a magnet on top of him? Because this Mukau cannot stop charging immediately at Johnny. And there's no ports to save him this time. Gets a stun out, but it's too late. And the bear is just going to eat him for breakfast.
And that's better, but we don't have an expected winner, I wouldn't say, out of any of these. It could really go any way between like the top 3 or even the top 5.
So put me in the mindset of roll. We've got Gutti on Necrophos, Young Harold on Tiny, Gabala on Snapfire, Winxing on Io, Raccoon on Windranger, Huncho George on Invoker.
All facets to call out here. Axe has the one-man army. The Bear Down, which means debuffs last 20% longer on the Ursa, insanely good.
RFA is
dire whatsoever. I mean, Morphling did get his Lincolns, but the Dagon unironically also breaks that as well. Meanwhile, Ursa's going to have BKB.
Charge in on Honcho.
Dire outmaneuvering every turn. Boka queuing up the Midas. He's already like got the glove and he's almost halfway there. Only got 10 minutes into the game.
Oh, it's a crab in mid lane. But this is it. This is this annoying bloody cow that just... It gets to this point in the game and it's in all 3 lanes, keeping the...
I couldn't even tell you what he's going to play tonight. We could just see stock standard stuff like Hoodwink, like Willow. Just depends on what he's feeling. Tiny even. Reverie,
Did you, already dead. Gachi gets the clap, back on full HP, and that is a team wipe once again on Slaughter Gang.
It may not look like it, but that was perfect.
From Reverie. But Reverie has not switched to strength. She's taking so much damage, and then there's a big spooky bear. The stun comes out, and they are gonna let him live for now. Swap?
It's a clown
no.
fest.
Swap's
No
on
swap,
cooldown.
5-second cooldown.
Back into the tower. She gets the scatter shot off so that she can sort of slip away there, but she still is very low, and Rubik has a fair bit of right-click damage. Down goes Gabala to the Rubiks.
Really
okay.
rough.
Okay. Alright, well...
Yes, so the Rubik's is going to be banned, the Io is going to be banned, and the Break is going to be banned.
So if they ban those 3 heroes, let's say they get rid of those 3... the owner's out now as well from the Invoker, and that Tiny is doing his best to slip away. Raccoon pushes the Invoker off, but now Raccoon might be in trouble, depending on how this Rubik plays. Kaz, it doesn't quite work. You come up against a pretty tough team in Slaughter Gang, maybe underestimating them a little bit. What's your next step? Are you going to go for something more traditional, something easier to execute? Gabala having a better game this time.
So even though Hancho George is 3-1, his team is suffering into the mid game.
Okay, we see a smoke now, but they didn't deal with the bear. And there's that beautiful save from RFA, but it might not be enough to save the Venji. She's slipping out in the back. She's got to deal with the zombies. She doesn't deal with the zombies, and now she's dead.
That's it. My god, that does so much damage as well.
So was he just...
He only did 700. He was half health, I think. And he got cleaned.
Nice. God, Tiny does so much damage. Hunter's down here. Did they scout him on this ward? Yeah, they did now. Okay.
They see him now, yeah. This is another good ward. As you can see, the Dire has almost the exact same ward play.
What a phenomenal performance from AU Rejects. Such a super cool game to see. The micro. And again, Hunter doesn't respect it, gets caught out, and this time he brings a Necro for the Necro stacks. How many stacks does he have now? Let's have a look. 3. 3 sides.
He is currently on 3 with...
Represented a bit, and it's strong. Shadow Fiend is so strong, so I'm glad to see it removed from the game.
It's being skipped. Sorry, I don't mean to butt in too much, but I'm surprised they skipped the Shadow Fiend.
He needs to get out of there as quickly as he can because there are 4 heroes. Swap, is it enough? Can he get out of there? Can he get into the trees? He is so thick, but there are 3 heroes just punching and punching and punching him. He gets the stun off onto the axe, but it's not enough, and that is a 5 tackle, and the troll might have to pop ult here if he wants to have any chance of surviving it. Though I don't think he can survive. I think he decides to try and take someone out with him, and it's going to be Gabala. Huge!
Oh, the mech!
Oh, the mech! Big save! Stops that.
They're both incredibly unique and they both have a good flavor to them. Like, obviously, attack or defense, right?
Yeah.
There's no ambiguity to it. They're both insanely good when you want them, you know what I mean? It's not in the arena. It's gonna be really hard for him to get anything done. And the you have to notice, I don't think the spirits actually give much vision anymore. I know they only give vision when they explode, and I don't think it's a...
Axe does have a blink dagger, and the charge is going to connect. Does Axe elect to blink?
He's clipped the Morphling! He's dead!
He dunks the Morphling again! This Morphling...
I don't think we're going to see a Spirit Breaker game 2. I don't think we're going to see an IO game 2. They're going to maybe try and limit them with their mobility around the map. So I reckon these, like, just be because of what the players play here. Like, obviously you don't see a lot of Axe at Riyadh, but you see a lot of the Willow and the Hoodwink that kind of prevents it, and the Underlord where
traditional, and not super strong. But there are a lot of answers to Morphling on support heroes. Nope, they decide to take the Axe. That's a classic Morphling.
So,
what, right
okay, what you're saying is not completely wrong, right? I understand they just completely...
Yeah,
you know, that's it. If they lost to it, they'd ban it. You're right, 100%.
100%. They might think, you know what, we can deal with it. It didn't cause us any troubles last time. All the IO was a ball to be thrown around by the Tiny. They'd be wrong, the IO had a huge impact. You're gonna see some saves coming out from Shadow Demon if he's in the right place. Yep. So Axe Core goes off, Disruption comes out, and all of a sudden, AU Rejects just has to stand there and wait for that. They've got an execution in mind. There's the Mars band, there's the Rubik band, you called that. And they
I didn't
take
call
the
Mars band, but they steal the Spirit Breaker, so that's gonna flip it.
Ricochet. So we get the Rubik 5. So Snap does elect to be the position 3.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of play in this bottom lane as long as.
Right. But yeah, it's super exciting.
I'm worried though because part of the reason this Sand King is like seeing play once again after such a long period of just being in the. I mean, he is on Team Spirit, arguably one of the best teams in the entire world. So let's see if Huncho can replicate the big Lal plays, dude. So which team are you? In the way of bans, picks? Is there like some specific heroes you think are going to come out during the pick phase that we might expect to see across both games? Talk to me.
Okay. Oh no, sorry, Gachi's on the... Wait, what? Gachi's on the Necro? What position are they playing?
Raccoon picks up the Windy. Okay, look at this mess.
Although the one placed by Tiny is less likely to get clipped by a sentry, that goes for the high grounds.
Double damage top, and Huncho is heading for it.
Very meta ward.
Yeah. But honestly, I think we are going to see a pretty fierce game tonight. From what you've told me before, of course, we went live, and from what I've seen from this upper division, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a brawl all the way into the captains. So much. Gives you the initiation, gives you vision, gives you tower push. Gabala needs to be careful though, because there are lots and lots of these mana stacks building up on top of Gabala, and he He's about to take a whole lot of damage. There he goes. Down.
Well,
1 hit.
yeah, I think he overstayed his welcome there, definitely. And he didn't even deny the bounty room.
They feed the Benji to the bear too.
Sorry, what?
They feed us. Is it going to be enough? Remember, Zeus can scout that little crab inside his sand pit. Is there any vision here for him to get the charge? There is. They're onto Johnny again. But there's the defensive disruption we were talking about. Johnny doing his best to try and get out of there, but there is